Region 4 quarterfinals. Did you write that down?
The Region 4 quarterfinals? Ready? Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Region 4 quarterfinals here from State Farm Arena. 956 Sports bringing you all the action. Kevin Sanchez alongside Eric Vanich here. And tonight, Eric, we have a great game between the Sharyland Rattlers and the Harlingen South Hawks.
We really have a good game in hand. We got to see Harlingen South play last week. Personally, you and I did. We called the game. They're a very, very high-intensity, fast-paced team. They love to run and they love to shoot. Sharyland, they're a little bit slower, but I think the fact that Harlingen South likes to run and that conditioning that they've been going through this whole year is going to help them in a big game atmosphere like this.
You know, Harlingen South has a tall task in front of them. They are playing a very emotional Sharyland Rattler team right now, coming off a win against the number 9 team in the state, number 9 ranked Nicky Rowe Warriors team in the state. They also got their coach Keith, that they're also playing for as well. A lot of emotion behind this Sharyland team tonight.
They really do. The assistant coach has helped them pretty much this entire year. He took over the reins in 2014. But don't underestimate Harlingen South's heart in this too. They were down by 8 points at halftime against Vela. Was their last game. Came back in the second half to win by 2. So there's a lot of emotion coming from that team as well too.
You know, Harlingen South coming all the way to this side of the valley for the third time in almost a week. They played Mac High last Tuesday. They played at Vela. You mentioned that big win last Friday. And now they've come all the way to State Farm Arena. They're the home team, but still a lot of miles between those games.
It has been. We had a chance to talk to Coach Brian Molina of Harlingen South before we came on broadcast earlier today. And he said the miles really don't mean much to his team. They're used to traveling. You know, Harlingen, there's not a lot of teams there. They come around here this way a lot, so they're used to the miles that they put on before a game. So I think that he likes it this way.
You know, Harlingen South, they're not very big. They are an old and experienced team. Nobody below junior listed on the roster tonight. They got a special talent, though, in Nick Garcia. Talk a little bit about him and what you expect to see from him tonight.
He's great. You know, he's a Division I prospect. UT Pan Am is looking at him. And we had a chance to see him live, like I said. he is not afraid to shoot the ball, Kevin. Whenever he gets the opportunity to, he will take a shot. He doesn't care if someone's in his face. He doesn't care if he's got to take someone off the dribble. He will make a move, and he will score.
Also very special, number 24, Grant Preciado, is actually his cousin. We saw a great connection between them in that Mackay game we called last Tuesday.
Yeah, he's the high-energy guy on this Harlingen South team. He's the guy that's going to be running around the court a lot. He's the one that's really got the cardio shape going on. I look for him to be kind of the Manu Ginobili, if you could say, of Harlingen South, the guy that brings the crowd alive for Harlingen South. He's always running up and down the court.
The starting lineups have just been announced here at State Farm Arena. We are just minutes away from tip-off here in the Region 4 quarterfinals. It's the Harlingen South, the home team, but playing all the way here at State Farm Arena against the Sharyland Rattlers. You know, just looking down on the sidelines right now, both these teams look fired up to play tonight.
Oh, they do, and it's a great crowd that we have here at State Farm Arena. Both towns coming to support this. I love Harlingen South's fans. They drive all over for them, like we said. They've got a lot of long distance games, but their fans, you know, they make the trek, and they're fired up just as much as the players are.
You know, you mentioned those Harlingen South fans. We saw a little bit of them in action in that Mackay game. A little heated between the fans in the stands. Today they're sitting on opposite sides of the court, but in that game they were sitting right next to each other.
They were. We actually saw about 3 or 4 fans get kicked out of the game, so it should be exciting. I'm loving this atmosphere. Texas high school basketball.
Looks like it's Preciado to tip for Harlingen South. It'll be Patrick De La Torre for the Rattlers. And this game is underway. Harlingen South controlling the tip. Harlingen South in the white unis today, Sharyland in the red. You see Harlingen South starting on the outside. That's where they like to play. A run taken to the hoop. Preciado. Defense knocked out. That's a very big boy in Patrick De La Torre down there low for the Rattlers.
Yeah, he's over 6 feet tall. Yeah, like we said, Harlingen South, they don't really have any tall players.
Sharyland starting in a 2-3 zone. Is that really what you want to do as we see the Harlingen South Hawks turn the ball over? Sharyland going to slow it down, look like they're going to play a little bit in a half-court set. There's De La Torre again, seems to be the go-to guy. Stripped. Harlingen South on the run now.
Look for the shot.
The 3-ball, and it's good. That's number 3, Sean Montemayor.
And that was a NBA 3. He was behind the NBA line here that they're playing at the D-League.
Andres Cantu for the Rattlers bringing the ball up. They're looking for the high pick and roll. He'll dish to number 10. He'll swing it around. Looking for De La Torre on the inside, and he is getting hit. I don't think a foul was called. It will remain Sharyland ball.
Sharyland's got to look to down low a lot to him. If you're Harlingen South, though, because you don't have the big players, you got to go for the double team.
Sharyland with the ball right now. That's Jesse Pistacci. Throwing up the shot off the glass. It's good.
Big move right there.
Another 3-ball by Harlingen South. Rebound controlled by Lila Thornton, the Sharyland Rattlers.
Little off balance.
Sharyland running a half-court set. Looks like Harlingen South running a little bit of 2-3. Again, we see the strip as Sharyland tries to run the lane. Harlingen South coming up with the turnover. Again, looking for that 3-ball. Harlingen South off the iron. Rebound controlled by Sharyland. Sharyland now on the run. Having a hard time getting control of it. That was number 10, Brandon Garza.
You know, we saw about 2 or 3 very quick shots there from Sean Montemayor of Harlingen South. I think Coach Molina, even though he likes to go with that quick offense, would rather see a set shot instead of fading away or an off-balance 3 that he's been taking.
Nick Garcia with the ball, gives it back up to Montemayor, swings it back around to Preciado. Montemayor on the right wing, looking for that high pick and roll from Preciado. Will take it baseline, throws it up. and they are going to call a foul and 2 shots. You know, Eric, Sharyland running that 2-3 zone, just begging Harlingen South to shoot from the outside, but that's exactly what they want to do.
It is. It's kind of almost like Sharyland is daring them to, just to see if they can do it. Maybe it's the big game atmosphere. They don't know if they're going to be able to make it, but I guarantee you, once they get those lasers locked in, they are not going to be afraid to shoot that.
Montemayor at the line shooting 2, knocks the first one down. And if anything, we saw that this was a very good free throw shooting Harlingen South team.
They are. They've got fantastic stats from the line, especially for a high school team in the high 70s. They're very good.
Montemayor, second shot, hits the front of the rim. Rebound controlled by Harlingen South. Preciado over to Garcia, swings it back around. And there's that swing game. A 3-ball goes up, and it is good. That was number 24 for Harlingen South, Preciado. And like we said, Eric, they're daring him to take that outside shot.
He's a big guy, but he can shoot the 3.
De La Torre trying to get it in to number 10, Brandon Garza. He's fouled.
Here's the thing about Preciado from Harlingen South. He's a big guy. He's fast. Like I said, he brings the energy. He can rebound, but he likes to step outside behind that three-point line, and he likes to shoot. So the defenders, you know, the posts and the centers, they need to get out there for Sharyland.
Garza's first shot is up and good. Garza's second shot from the line. That's number 10, Brandon Garza from Sharyland. (7-4) the score here. Harlingen South leading. Looking for the pick and roll. It's Garza. Nick from the top. Gonna hit that one. Nick Garza from Harlingen South off the screen game. Harlingen South playing their game tonight.
I think they've been all their shots have been NBA threes. I'm not gonna lie.
Turnover by Sharyland, looking to go up. I think he might have gotten a little contact. Either way, gets away with it. That goes in for number 1, Angel Gonzalez. And this Harlingen South team out to a 12-4 run early on. That's what we saw him do last week against Mac High.
That's exactly what they like to do. They like to score. They like to score quick, and they like to score often. Coach Molina, he's kind of he kind of runs sort of that Oregon Duck offense. You know, if you can relate football to basketball. He knows that you're going to score on offense, and he's willing to give up the points on defense, but he's saying, I dare you to outscore me. You know, we've seen about less than about 3 minutes and 15 seconds. They already got 12 points, and they've taken probably 8 or 9 shots so far. I mean, they are letting it fly.
Coach Molina doing exactly what he wanted to see from his team tonight. Looks like Coach Gonzalez calling a timeout for Sharyland, wanting to talk it over with his guys. And in the end, and in basketball more than anything, you see the timeout try to slow momentum.
Yeah, they're seeing if they can do that here.
A lot of pressure from Harlingen South. They're picking him up in the front court. That's number 30, Jesse, with the ball. Now, this guy played his freshman year at Sharyland, then transferred to a prep school. He's a talent for that Rattler team. Yeah,
he's been highly regarded and a heavily recruited player. He was featured on the cover of Slam magazine. He's a great player, and you know, it's going to be a fun matchup to see him against Nick Garcia, who was the number 1 3-point shooting player in Texas. So really got a good offensive matchup between them two that's going to be fun to see.
We see them two going at it right now as the ball shifted out to behind the 3-point line. That's Sharyland on the right wing, taking it right side, getting hit, and another foul called. And Sharyland seems to be attacking the paint early, and if they do it enough, I think they're going to start to get those calls. It's being very physical down low.
Yeah, they got a couple strips earlier, but if you're not going to give them the little touch fouls, if you're going to start calling everything, look for it to go in favor of Sherry. They're going to start driving, and especially with the good player, the good players that Sharyland has, they like to drive. They're not more so a team that likes to shoot from the outside.
Jesse Pistacacci at the line. 12-4, Harlingen 12-5 after Pistacacci hits the free throw. Harlingen South leading this one, 4:13 left to play in the game. The second free throw rattles in there. Harlingen South with a 6-point lead. They lead 12-6. Nick Garcia with the ball for Harlingen South. A little bit slower tempo this time as he brings it up the floor. Looking for that crossover dribble, takes it in, up and under, no good. Stripped by Sharyland. They're on the move now. You see a little two-man game. Pistacacci missing the layup, but recovered by Della Torre.
Great team basketball there. Unselfish play by Sharyland.
You know, we saw Sharyland on the break there, but they still passed the ball 3 times. Harlingen South with the 3 ball. And again, they will kill you with that 3 ball.
They will. The dribble penetration, pop out 3 is what they go for. That's their bread and butter.
Pistacacci trying to match him with a 3.
That's not his game.
No good. Hits off the iron, rebounded by Harlingen South. Nick Garcia looking for Montemayor on the inside. Turnaround missed. Rebound controlled by Sharyland. Pistacacci bringing the ball up for the Rattlers.
Let's see if they go down low. No.
They're calling for it down low. Their big man out on the blocks.
He's a big boy. I think they need to deliver it to him.
Andres Cantu with the ball looking for it. And the bucket by number 10, Brandon Garza, almost in danger. It could have been a block, could have been a charge either way, but he gets the ball off before the contact.
He does. That was a great dribble penetration, and that's Sharyland's game. Dribble in, look for the little spot up jump shot about 5 to 10 feet from the rim. And another 3.
18-10, Harlingen South with the 8-point lead. As again, we saw them with the pressure. They like to play pressure off the ball, full court press. 2 minutes left here in the first. Pistacacci throws it up, draws the contact. The bucket does not go.
That's his game, though. He has to keep doing that. But eventually, you realize that you're going to trade baskets for 3s because this Harlingen South team, they don't miss very often from 3-point range, as you've seen so far today.
Pistacacci at the line with 2 shots. 1:57 left to play in the first quarter. The first shot, swish. We've yet to see a substitution by either team in this game. We've still got 2 minutes left in the first. Second shot, nothing but net. 18-12, Harlingen South leading the Sharyland Rattlers.
It looks like Sharyland's going with the press right now, a 1-2-2.
That ball goes up, rebound controlled by Sharyland, but the foul there by number 1, Angel Gonzalez.
And that's a foul you don't want to get. That's a silly foul. They've got the rebound. You're not going to take it away from them.
We finally see a substitution coming out of the game for Sharyland as Brandon Garza checking in. Number 1, Corby Von Rosenberg.
And Brandon Garza was a star receiver on that Sharyland football team, too, that does pretty well.
Again, we see the pressure by Harlingen South. Knocked away by number 1, Angel Gonzalez. Ball stays with Sharyland, though, and it's not really an intense pressure. It's more of just to kind of bother you, kind of get in your head. They're not looking for the turnover.
They're not looking for that. They're trying to see if they can make you make a reaction that you don't want to do.
Kind of making you earn their way up the court. We saw them get the 10-second call.
Last week.
Something you rarely see in high school basketball. Pistacacci pulls it down, shifts over. That's 21 for Sharyland, missing the shot. Jerry Martinez. Rebound no good. Harlingen South with control of the ball, and that's just a bad pass there by number 24, Grant Preciado for Harlingen South.
That was. You know what? We actually haven't been seeing too much sloppy basketball been played today compared to how we saw Harlingen South played last week. A lot of turnovers in that game by both teams, Mac High and Harlingen South. This week, though, it seems like both teams are, they're pretty poised. They're making smart passes, not leaving their feet. It may be this, sort of bigger atmosphere. It doesn't feel like the fans are right on you, pressuring you.
Corby Von Rosenberg with the ball.
They need to go down low to Della Torre.
Hands it off to Andres Cantu. And they are going to call him out of bounds. Sharyland basketball. Harlingen South thought they had the turnover there. They were ready to make a break for it. 58 seconds left as we're going to see another substitution. That's number 12 coming in for the Rattlers, Eddie Garza. Number 23 also checking in, Zach Ramon. We're going to see Pistacacci come out.
And, interesting, last game we saw against Harlingen South, a lot of their players didn't come out for almost most of the game. Nick Garcia didn't come out until about a minute left in the fourth quarter.
The 3 ball by Von Rosenberg bounces off. Rebound controlled by Harlingen South. That's Nick Garcia.
They're going to run you. They're running. They've moved to man-to-man now.
Nick Garcia, that's some of the talent that those folks over at Pan Am like to see as he dribble penetrates up off the glass for 2 points.
Yeah, you see they went from the 3-2 zone to the man-on-man, and Nick Garcia, he can beat you from the outside. He can dribble in and penetrate and beat you on the inside.
Looking for the inside feed, thrown away. Harlingen South with the ball. They're running it, taking it coast to coast, missing the shot. Rebound controlled by Sharyland, number 12. Eddie Garza with the ball. He's looking to take it himself, giving it into De La Torre inside, and there's the big man. You've been calling for him to get the ball all night. He finally got it.
They need to get him more involved.
The half-court shot bounces off. 20-14 as the first quarter comes to a close. Harlingen South leading by 6, and we saw Harlingen South playing their game in that first quarter.
That's exactly what they want to be doing. If you're Coach Brian Molina, you're excited with your team's play. A couple shots maybe that you wouldn't have liked to see, but that's their game. That's what they do. They like to run down the court. They like to shoot that 3 ball, and they like to shoot it as fast as they can. There's not a shot clock here in high school basketball, but the way they play, the way Harlingen South likes to play, as if there's a shot clock and there's only 10 seconds on it.
They must have been licking their chops when they came out and they saw that 2-3 zone from Sharyland, because they just lit up from the 3-point range.
They were salivating. Coach Molina, he always likes to say this. We've heard him say it before. Whenever you see that 3-2 zone, your eyes should get wide and your eyes should get big, especially for his shooters, because they're just daring you to shoot, and that's exactly what his team loves. But here's the thing, Kevin. If you're Sharyland, as lights out as maybe Harlingen South had played in that first quarter, because they hit some really big threes and some deep threes, Sharyland, you're not out of the game. You're only 6 points down, and the best part about that is your team is playing well. Now, what I'd like to see, though, is for Patrick De La Torre, number 32 from Sharyland, the big man down low, to get a few more touches. Let him go to work down low.
They've given him the ball a few times down low, and it's turned out really, really well for Sharyland. We also got Pistacache, who's been able to drive in and draw a couple of fouls. He's definitely hit some big free throws.
He has.
Sharyland with the ball. We see De La Torre with the high screen, and that's just an air ball. A very, very deep 3 from Andres Cantu for Sharyland.
And this Harlingen South crowd, they are vocal, and they're going to let him hear it.
Not only was he behind the NBA three-point line, he was way behind the NBA three-point line.
Yeah.
Harlingen South seeing it, slowing it down a little bit as we see Pistacache about ready to check back in for the Rattlers. And there's another 3 ball from Angel Gonzalez, and any one of these guys on the floor can shoot the ball.
That's the scary thing about Harlingen South, is there's not one guy. You can't run like a box on one and just stay with one player.
Dribble drive penetration not going to fall for Eddie Garza. Rebound controlled by Harlingen South, and a turnover as Sharyland capitalizes on the turnover. Von Rosenberg putting it up. 23-16, 7 minutes left to play here in the second quarter.
That's the double-edged sword part of Harlingen South's game. As fast as they like to play, they do produce a lot of turnovers, though.
Harlingen South looking to Preciado down low. With nice move to the inside. We see him put it up and in. Kind of a little different game, but they can beat you multiple ways.
They can.
Sharyland with the ball. We're fighting out of a double team. That was Eddie Garza passing over to Andres Cantu.
No, and this crowd is letting him hear his air ball.
Ball knocked away by Angel Gonzalez as we see 3 guys check in for Sharyland. (25-16). Harlingen South leading Sharyland. And these Harlingen South defenders are right on you as Pistacache dribbles in, dishes out to Von Rosenberg, misses the 3 ball. Rebound controlled by Harlingen South, but we see them like to pass the ball a lot.
Wow.
Preciado turning the ball over. Now it's Sharyland's turn on the run.
Sharyland is 0 for 8 so far in 3-pointers. They've made 8 attempts, haven't hit one yet.
it doesn't help when your opponent, Harlingen South, is just shooting lights out from wherever it is on the court.
Yeah, it is. And, it's one of those things that it gets in your head as a player, like, why can't I make these?
Pistacache bringing the ball up for the Rattlers. Looking to drive, fakes, throws it up, looking for the foul call, not going to get it. Preciado controls the rebound, passing it up to Montemayor. Montemayor looking to drive in, he'll slow it down. Nick Garcia from the corner, ball rattles out. Rebound controlled by Pistacache and the Sharyland Rattlers. He brings it up, double team before he can get past the half court mark, throws it off a Harlingen South Hawk. It'll be a turnover as Nick Garcia throws it up, another three ball. 28-16, 12-point lead, the biggest for the Harlingen South tonight. That ball, they're calling that one out of bounds. And you saw as they caught Pistacache in the trap in the half court, he turned the ball over. Bad things happen. Yeah,
Garcia setting up that trap, getting the steal, and then getting open in the corner.
Sharyland ball on the baseline. Pistacache, be careful. He's going to get a 5-second call. Gets it into De La Torre. He gets swatted, kind of throws it up there, and they're going to call a travel. Yeah. We saw him shuffle his feet down there.
Yeah, when you're a big guy like that, you want to make a quick move. Don't bring the ball down. I think that was De La Torre's problem. He caught it, brought it down low. You're letting all those guards swat at it down there. You're a big guy. Keep the ball up high.
Montemayor bringing the ball up for Harlingen South. Gives it over to Preciado, top of the key. Gives it over to Perales.
Sharyland still sticking with that man-on-man.
Harlingen South, it is Nick Garcia at the top with the ball. He'll put the ball on the floor, looking to attack. Pistacache out up high on him, playing well above the three-point line. Nick Garcia looking to put a move on him, crossing him over, pulled it back, took it right to the rim. Good move, didn't get it to go, but Grant Preciado with the putback.
Yeah. What a move, Harlingen South likes to run that spread offense where they move everyone outside of the lane and let Nick Garcia go one-on-one with who's ever defending him.
Sharyland Rattlers, Pistacache with the ball. Down in the corner, looking to put the ball on the floor, dribble baseline. Not there, dishes off to 23, Zach Ramon. And this Harlingen South defense all over these Rattlers right now. Trying to poke the ball away. Pistacache with a great fadeaway, too. That's some of the talent that, we saw put him on the cover of Slam magazine.
Yeah, that was a great fadeaway from the baseline.
Under 4 minutes left to play here in the first half. Harlingen South leading by 12, 30-18. Preciado with the ball, swings it over. It's Montemayor at the top. Some great ball movement here from Harlingen South.
And it looks like they're going to run that spread play again. Look at that. That middle of the court is just wide open, Kevin.
Perales with the ball. We saw Preciado try to post up down low, and there's Molina. You see him right at half court giving some instructions, just letting this clock kind of tick off. He got a 12-point lead.
Yeah. There's no count by the official because he's not playing any defense of Sharyland. They're not up on him.
Perales looking to drive, kind of turns the ball over. Try to get too fancy with it there. Sharyland with the numbers on a break. They're going to pull it down, play in the half court, and I thought he got pushed. Yeah, a referee saying he got pushed a little bit. They're nowhere near the bonus.
Yeah, and I think that was Angel Gonzalez who was, toying around with a little bit too much at the top of the key, and then Nick Garcia tried to save it. I don't think he knew that a Sharyland defender swatted the ball out of Gonzalez's hand. He didn't have to throw it. He could have caught it in the back the back court. That wouldn't have been a backcourt violation.
Sharyland looking for De La Torre underneath. He gets swatted, but right into the hands of Pistacache, who puts it up. Ball, that shot will not fall. The rebound recovered by Sharyland. Pistacache out on the left wing. Going to cross over. Garcia looking to take it in. Up off the board. That'll be no good. Pump fakes. Draws the foul, and there he is again with 2 more shots from the line.
Here's the thing about that Harlingen South team, Kevin. They have very quick hands. Coach Molina stresses play with your feet, not with your hands. But not only do they have quick feet, they got those quick hands too. They average about 11.8 steals a game. So you know that if you're going into the paint, they are going to be swatting. They are going to be trying to get that ball out of your hands, especially if you're a big man.
Pistacache and also De La Torre for Sharyland, they're big guys. How frustrating is it for them? to play against a guy that's not only smaller than you, but very, very physical.
Yeah, it's a tough game. It's one of those things that gets in your head. You've seen him make some mental mistakes, like getting trapped in the back court that he normally doesn't make.
Pistacache will miss the first one off the front iron, but it looks like Coach Molina is going to call a timeout. We'll do the same here. You're watching playoff basketball here on 956sports.com.
The sun shines bright as it moves across my face. I feel the light and everything is in its place. I woke up feeling great. Today was made for me, and life is good the way it should be.
Welcome back. Kevin Sanchez alongside Eric Fanich here on 956sports.com. 2:48 left to play in the half. 30-18 Harlingen South leading by 12. Pistacache at the line to shoot his second shot before the call timeout. That was the 7th foul on Harlingen South as that ball falls in. 30-19 now the score. For the next 2 and some odd minutes,
Sharyland's going to be in the bonus.
we see a little bit of pressure from Sharyland now. Harlingen South finally getting it across the floor. We saw a substitute as they dish out to Preciado up top. He'll miss the three-pointer, controlled by De La Torre.
Look for the pressure from Sharyland on defense those next couple possessions to try to get a little momentum going into halftime.
It's an 11-point lead for Harlingen South. Pistacache almost turned the ball over on that one. Garza dishing the ball over for the three for Sharyland. That was number 21, Jerry Martinez, and they finally found that three ball they were looking for right at the right time. Harlingen South driving in, that bucket no good. Rebound controlled by Sharyland. That was Daniel Perales on the miss.
And let's see if Sharyland can get some momentum now. 100 seconds left in this half.
16-point lead, now down to 8. 30-22 as that shot misses. Put back no good. Rebound controlled by Harlingen South. The ball knocked away, stays with Harlingen South, but there's the pressure you were talking about.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're going to be having. And you know, if you're Sharyland, you don't want a shot like that. You've got a minute 40 left in this half. Take your time, relax. You've got a little bit of momentum. You don't have to take the off-balanced fade away into the middle of the lane.
And we saw a pass from sideline to sideline.
Yeah.
Not what you're looking for, not the kind of passes you want to see if you're Coach Molina.
Yeah. Just like in the NFL, how those can get intercepted, just same thing happens in basketball. The long-distance pass, always an opportunity for someone to steal it.
Again, a very handsy Sharyland team forces the turnover. Von Rosenberg on the attack. He'll pull it down, looking for Pistacache, who throws it up, looking for a foul call there. It goes out of bounds, stays with Sharyland.
He is losing the ball a couple times down there. You know, like we said, that Sharyland team, they're really handsy. They like to get in and they like to dig.
Ball going into De La Torre. De La Torre throwing it up. He'll miss. Rebound controlled by Harlingen South and Preciado. Now you see a lot of pressure, and they'll finally call the foul. That's only the second team foul on Sharyland. Harlingen South with 7. We got a minute 3 left to play.
Yeah, and if you're Patrick De La Torre, that's the kind of shot you want to take. You're 2 feet from the rim. You've got a smaller defender on you. He's going to hit those. It's going to take some time, but you know he's going to get them, and I think that's a great inbound play that Sharyland just ran.
Here comes the pressure from Sharyland, picking them up right as they cross half court. Britton gives it off to Perales. Back over to Gonzalez, who fires up a 3, and that one is good. 33-22, the lead back up to 11 points, 41 seconds left to play.
That ended a 2-minute scoring drought that they had, and that's something you don't see Harlingen South go through often, a 2-minute scoring drought.
Looking for the high pick is Von Rosenberg. He drives to the lane, throws it up off the glass, misses, air ball, but rebound controlled by De La Torre. His shot no good. Harlingen South back on the offensive.
Gabriel Britton, number 5 from Harlingen South, was the guy that stole that.
Angel Gonzalez with the ball, looking to take it as he's fouled on the floor. 20 seconds left, 11-point lead for Harlingen South here in the half.
And if you're Coach Molina, I know you like to run fast plays, but right here, look for him to hold it, take the last shot of the half, try to go in with a double-digit lead. I mean, they've already got it, but keep that double-digit lead intact.
Montemayor inbounds to Britton. Britton triple-teamed. Gets the ball out. It's Preciado with the ball up near half court, looking to pass it in. He had Britton down low, but a turnover. 6 seconds left to play. Sharyland needs to score quickly. In danger of being a travel. The buzzer beater goes up, no good by number 20, Andres Cantu, and that's how the first half comes to a close. Harlingen South 33-22, but we did see some signs of life from Sharyland at the end.
They really did. You know, those last in the last 2 minutes they played well. I think they got a little bit sloppy in the last 30 seconds though of the 2 minutes. You know, they had a lead, the lead was cut down to 8. You're going to half with an 11-point lead, so you know Sharyland had a chance to build a little bit of momentum, but I think they kind of got the wind taken out of their sails with that last three that. Number one, Angel Gonzalez from Harlingen South hit right in about the last 20 seconds, 30 seconds of the half.
We got a 10-minute halftime. We'll be back after this with the second half of the Region 4 quarterfinal matchup here at State Farm Arena. Harlingen South leading the Sharyland Rattlers 33-22. We'll be back. You're watching playoff basketball on 956sports.com.
The sun shines bright as it moves across my face. I feel the light and everything is in its place. I woke up feeling great. Today was made for me. Life is good the way it should, the way it was meant to be. And it's a beautiful day.
Welcome back to the Region 4 quarterfinals here on 956sports.com. And you know, Eric, an 11-point lead for Harlingen South. It's still anybody's game. If you're coach Rene Gonzalez for Sharyland, what'd you tell your team at half?
You got to tell them, hey, keep your heads up, keep swinging, and let's start going down low. Let's start looking for Patrick De La Torre down low. You know, Harlingen South doesn't have that big guy presence. What they like to do on defense is they swarm the ball. But if you're Patrick De La Torre, you got to get it down low. You got to keep that ball high. You're a big guy. Keep it up high. Make a big move, and get some easy baskets down low. Start getting the momentum going to your team.
You know, what doesn't help either is that Sharyland not doing too well shooting from outside. I believe they're shooting their three-point percentage got to be under 20%.
Yeah, they're one for. I think with that last one right before halftime, they are 1 for 10 from three-point land. I mean, that's not a good percentage, but that's really not their game. I think Harlingen South was able to get them a little bit outside by all the threes that they keep hitting, and you know that's what they like to do. They like to shoot a lot of threes, frustrate their opponents, and I think that's what they're able to do with Sharyland here tonight. But let's see if Rene Gonzalez, the head coach now, acting head coach, is going to be able to fire up his team and get them on the same page.
If you're Brian Molina, do you keep your foot on the gas? I mean, you got an 11-point lead, or do you kind of tell your guys to go against what you've taught them all year and slow it down?
No, Coach Molina, he's the type of coach that you stick with the one that brought you to the dance, right? And that with them, it is run and gun, and just move, shoot. He will not take his foot off the gas, and we saw last week against Mac High, they were up by 20 points, and he still had his starters in there all the way to the bitter end.
We're getting ready to tip off here the second half. Only 16 minutes remain here in the Region 4 quarterfinals.
And remember, Kevin, the winner of this game is going to be playing East Central or Mac. Just got the heads up, so this will be whoever wins here gets to stay here in the Valley.
Harlingen South, with the ball as Nick Garcia turns the ball over. Sharyland looks. Pistacache is going to foul him. The ball does not fall. He'll get 2 shots from the line.
And that's exactly what you don't want to be doing if you're South players. They like to strip a lot. They play with their hands down low.
Preciado with 2 from the line. First one misses, and we saw him struggle a little bit in the Mac High game with the free throws. If there was any blemish on the free throw shooting team of Harlingen South, it's number 24, Grant Preciado.
Yeah, it's like the only thing that's missing from his game is those free throws.
The second
we saw it earlier in the first half, Kevin. They were kind of just, putting a little bit of pressure, but not really trapping once they in the back part of the half court. But now they're starting to trap. They're running, looks like a 2-1-2.
Sharyland moving the ball away. That's how you're going to beat the press. The head fake by Brandon Garza. Takes it to the hole, misses. Rebound controlled by Nick Garcia, and a lot of contact there. He draws the foul. We only saw Sharyland with 2 team fouls in the first half. They got 2 team fouls in the first 41 seconds.
Yeah, they played a very disciplined first half. 2 team fouls. I think one of them was kind of a ticky-tack foul right at the end of the half. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see if there's frustration, and they're going to go for steals here because they're down. If it's going to play to more fouls.
Harlingen South, you got a great talent in Nick Garcia, but you don't see him with his hands on the ball every single time. They do a lot of passing play, a lot of team basketball.
They really do, but right there, Sharyland comes out with a little different look on defense. They weren't playing that man-to-man. It looks like they had a 3-2 zone, and they were trapping when the ball went to the outside, and that's how they were able to cause that turnover.
So ball poked away there by Harlingen South. That's number 1, Angel Gonzalez. Takes it up layoff, and that's exactly what that defense is trying to do.
Yeah, he's the number 1 stealer on their team. He leads their team in steals.
Preciado almost with another steal right there. Ended up stepping on the sideline. Ball stays with Sharyland. Von Rosenberg with the ball. Looking over to coach for a play call. Von Rosenberg looking for that high pick and roll from De La Torre. Takes it off, driving it to the hoop. Pulls it down, passes back to Garza. Garza back to Von Rosenberg, back to Garza. Takes a 3-ball, misses. Controlled, knocked out of bounds. They're saying by Preciado.
The refs kind of looked at each other there, though. I think they made the right call.
Now, Preciado very physical on that rebound. Almost an over-the-back call right there, but Sharyland just getting the defense. Pistacache trying to make something happen. Nothing going. Passes to Von Rosenberg out in the corner. Drives. Misses his shot. Rebound controlled by Harlingen South, and they got numbers. It's a 3-on-1. Looking for the alley-oop, not there, but we know that he can definitely make that play.
Yeah, he can. We saw it earlier. We saw it last week, a nice alley-oop to start the game. Looking for it here, maybe just a little bit too high, but they're getting a little bit physical down there. I think the refs are going to let him play.
Sharyland with the ball. Pistacache bringing it up the floor. He's guarded by number 1, Angel Gonzalez.
And if you're Pistacache here, you want to drive in. He's dancing around with it a little bit too much on the outside. Make your move.
Pistacache hands off to Von Rosenberg. Von Rosenberg from way downtown misses. Rebound controlled by Preciado. And again, there's the fast pace from Harlingen South. Montemayor puts it up, and they are calling no basket, foul away from the ball.
Yeah, it looks like underneath. Uh-oh.
They're calling it on number...
That looks like De La Torre.
On 32, De La Torre. And that just seems like a frustration call.
Is that a technical? We did see a little bit of taunting with the claps from Preciado, clapping right in front of De La Torre's face, and then De La Torre clapping right back. And here's the thing that we saw last week, Kevin, especially with this Harlingen South team. They are very emotional, and they really like to talk a lot. We saw, I think it was number 3, Sean Montemayor. He fouled out of the game, but we saw him get right up in an official's face and just shout and point at him. That's something that I've never seen before in high school basketball, and he got away with it. No technical calls.
Kind of reminds you, there's a lot of talk about Richard Sherman a couple of months ago with the Super Bowl, how that trash talk is part of his game. Kind of what Harlingen South likes to do. Coach Molina going nuts. He's calling a 30-second timeout.
He's trying to tell the officials, he's trying to figure out exactly what happened on that last play.
I think he's thinking that they should get the ball. I mean, if a technical is fouled, isn't it a shot in the ball?
Right, but I think it may have been called on Preciado. That's one of those interesting calls. Usually, the first person that does the taunt, usually gets away with it, and it's the person who reciprocates that always gets called. But I think right here it was a little bit different. I think they saw what he was doing, that clap right in his face, and he's one of those players that he's going to talk a lot, he's going to clap a lot, he's going to get right in your face after he makes a move, and all those Harlingen South players are. It's how they like to play. That's the emotion that they play with. A lot of people say maybe it's dirty. I think it's just emotional.
Yeah, trash talking trying to get in the head of the Sharyland Rattlers players. I mean, it looks to be working so far. I mean, if the refs aren't calling it, if they're not policing it, it seems to be something that they've been able to use to their advantage. So we'll see if the officials has everything straightened out after the 30-second timeout. And it will be Harlingen South with the ball. Nick Garcia to inbound it.
That was a good call by Molina. He got everything straightened out by doing that.
Vassello with a couple of head fakes, dishes out to Perales, swings it around to Nick Garcia. Ball not coming down, controlled by Von Rosenberg. Pistacache with the ball, looking to take it coast to coast. He will be trapped, gives it to De La Torre. De La Torre back to Pistacache on the wing. Head fake back to Von Rosenberg at the top, looking to dribble right. Hands off to 21, Jerry Martinez, gives it back to Von Rosenberg. Von Rosenberg calling for that high pick, looking to take it baseline, takes it up, and the bucket will not fall.
It was a good move there, but you got to be able to finish that, especially when you get that down low, that low and into the basket, and you're down by 14. You got to hit that.
Pistacache with the ball, looking for that screen. Take it, a little hesitation move, takes it into the lane in the middle, puts it up. And a good foul there by Harlingen South, because I think Pistacache makes that, make him earn it from the line.
Yeah, and I think we actually saw a substitution there. De La Torre came out. I think that's De La Garza in there, number 35. They got two big guys down there who was setting that screen and roll up top. But here's the thing that we know about Sharyland is whenever they drive in, they're always going to look for the spin move. They're always going to look for the quick little layup, and that's really their game, and they've been taken out of that game here with a lot of outside shooting.
5 minutes left to play here in the third quarter. Harlingen South leading by 13, 36-23. Pistacache's second from the line is good, 36-24 now the score.
He's got 10 so far, Kevin.
Watching the clock there, it was a little late to get started, but finally gets going. Nick Garza looking to drive, dishes out to the three-point line. Boy, we've seen them to do that a time or two. It's that drive and dribble penetration, and again, a miss from Harlingen South. Coming out a little cold here to start the third quarter.
Yeah, that's what we noticed last week, too, when we saw him play Mac High. they always this third quarter, it's something happens. They get a little cold.
Ball poked away from Pistacache, who passed up to Nick Garcia, in with the bucket, 38-24. And they're going to call a timeout as Sharyland, and off the turnovers, that's exactly what Harlingen South is looking for.
Yeah, that's what they want to do. Like we said, they came out a little bit cold, but that's how you start getting a shooter back into his game. You get him some easy layups, and you get him some trips to the free throw line here. You know, interesting thing that we've seen, we talked about this earlier in the game, Kevin. We wanted to see Nick Garcia from Harlingen South versus Pistacache from Sharyland. We wanted to see that matchup, and they've matched up a couple times on each other. Not so much here in the not so much in the second quarter, and right here in this third quarter. Both players have 10 points coming into the third.
So it'll be Sharyland ball looking to get something going here as they trail by 14, 38-24, 4:28 left to play in the third.
Nick Garcia is not, I don't think he's left the game yet, just like last week.
Von Rosenberg will inbound it. Gives it to Eddie Garza for Sharyland. Garza going to be picked up at the three-point line, gives it back to Von Rosenberg, looking for the high pick and roll. That double team is staying with him. A lot of pressure from Harlingen South.
They're running that man defense, and they're playing.
Kind of an wild shot thrown up there, gets the call. That's number 21, Jerry Martinez. But Sharyland trying to take people off the dribble instead of looking for a set play. I mean, they're kind of setting a screen and seeing if they can take someone off the dribble. I don't think it's working for him here.
It definitely isn't. They've got to switch the game plan up here. The dribble penetration is not working. You got to look for someone with Sharyland to step up and start scoring some points for you.
Number 21 for Sharyland at the line, Jerry Martinez. He hits the first. Martinez's second shot rattles out. Rebound controlled by Preciado and Harlingen South. There's the passing by Harlingen South. You see Preciado take it in. He will be fouled.
On the floor. And you know, Kevin, it was interesting. We said that first half, they kind of let him play a little bit. Right here, we've seen a couple fouls, about 3 that have been called in the past 2 minutes. Maybe the refs are getting a little bit tighter, calling it a closer game, especially after that technical.
Yeah, it's a 5th team foul by Harlingen South, and we still got 4 minutes left to play here in the third. Montemayor double team, gives it off to Perales. Perales looking to drive the lane, takes it up, scoops it up and in. 40-25, 3:50 left to play here in the third. It's a 15-point lead for Harlingen South. Von Rosenberg picked up at the half-court line, double teamed. We see the ball poked away. I believe that's Perales for Harlingen South. Ball stays with Sharyland.
If you're Sharyland here, you want to call up a play. You want to start getting some momentum back on your side. I think the Sharyland crowd has kind of been taken out of this game. As you can tell, the Harlingen South crowd is just feeding off of this fast gameplay.
High pick and roll for Martinez does not fall. Ball will be, they're saying it's off De La Garza.
Yeah.
Number 35 for Sharyland, Harlingen South ball. And if you're Coach Gonzalez for the Rattlers, when do you think about, putting some pressure there?
It looks like they're starting it now. It looks like a 1-2-2, but their other 2 players are sticking up in the backcourt.
This is a Harlingen South team that likes to pass the ball. It seems that maybe the 1-2-2 not basically the best press to use is that ball missed. Rebound controlled by De La Garza and Sharyland. Von Rosenberg, and we see that swarming defense of Harlingen South. They're just all over the place.
They are.
There's the foul by Harlingen South. It'll be number 10, Brandon Garza for Sharyland going to the line.
He's going to the line again, and I think if you're Sharyland, that 1-2-2 is not the type of press that you want to be running. That's going to help cause some turnovers. Here's the thing that we saw with Harlingen South last week, Kevin, is in the third quarter when Mac High was down and they started pressuring them. Harlingen South made mistakes. They're human too, and if they can start putting some pressure on them, they can start trapping them. They're going to start making some sloppy passes. They're going to start making some turnovers and look for Sharyland to come back. This game, it's a game of runs, and right now, Harlingen South has really had the biggest run here.
We're going to see Pistacache check back in for the Rattlers. We're going to see Preciado for Harlingen South check out for the first time in this game. They're giving him some breather minutes. They're got a 14-point lead.
Let's see what happens, because last week when he came out, that's when Macheim really made their big push, and that's where they got a lot of their points. Like I said, he's the heart and soul of that defense.
So we see the penetration by Sharyland, or the pressure by Sharyland. They're trying to double team. The push out to the three-point line. Montemayor misses, and we've yet to see Harlingen South make a three-pointer this half.
Yeah, they haven't.
Sharyland, Pistacache giving it back to Von Rosenberg. Pistacache in the corner. Ball knocked away by Harlingen South. It'll stay with Sharyland.
And it looks like they're going to bring De La Torre back in, Kevin. I mean, they've got to get some presence down low, especially with Preciado out. You want to throw it down low. You want to start running some stuff. I mean, it looks like he's got a guy, number 0, Daniel Perales from Harlingen South is guarding him. Look at the size difference. That's over a foot. Throw it down low.
Pistacache taking it to the hoop baseline. 40-28. Nick Garza controlling the ball for Harlingen South. He's out on the wing, looking to drive. Scoops it up and under, no good. Rebound controlled, knocked away by Harlingen South. There's the handsy defense you talked about. Harlingen South controlling the offensive rebound.
Yeah, that's what they like to do. Whenever they see the opportunity, they're going to swat.
Perales dribbling, that knocked away by Von Rosenberg. Very rarely do you see a stuffed three-point shot.
Yeah, you don't see that often. Usually you want to stay on your feet from that three-point line.
And I believe they're going to call a foul. If it's on Sharyland, that's the 6th team. They're one away from the bonus.
Yeah, not a good thing to be doing, especially with a minute 32 left in the third quarter. Like we said, Harlingen South, they're a team that can shoot the free throw. You're not going to, late in the fourth quarter, you're not going to foul them and try to play that foul game with them because they can knock down those free throws.
Perales looking to drive, dishes it out to Nick Garcia. Long but controlled by Harlingen South. That ball is short. Sharyland on the run. And I believe the charge was the right call there, Eric.
That was. He had his feet set. He was good, for a good 2 or 3 moves. And that's the thing Coach Molina likes to see. I've had a chance to actually play for Coach Brian Molina, and that's what his team prides himself on, is on defense. If you can get an offensive charge, get that ball moving the other way, that is a huge momentum swing. And you can hear it right now. This crowd, both sides, some are disagreeing with it and some are loving the call. But that's one of those calls that really gets the team motivated.
Looked like Sharyland was about to make a run there. Nothing like a charge call to kind of bring an end to your momentum. They trail by 12 here, 40-28.
Screeching halts.
We were taking a minute here on the floor to clean up some of the sweat.
Yeah, when you take a charge like that, especially as hard as these players have been playing, that floor gets pretty slippery.
Especially there in that painted area. You don't want that to be the slippery part. That's where all the players are going in there. Someone twist an ankle.
Yeah, but now it looks like there's a little bit of confusion going on here.
So that foul, although it's an offensive foul, they won't be shooting the 1-and-1, but it does put Harlingen South in the bonus now. Now you see the pressure from Sharyland.
Yeah.
Harlingen South looking to pass their way out of it. Nick Garza with the ball. Nick Garcia, excuse me. Garcia over to Perales, gives it back to Britton. Britton finding Montemayor, gives it back to Gonzalez. Jacks up a shot, and I believe that's only a 2. 42 seconds left. Yeah, just a 2 ball. Harlingen South yet to hit a 3-pointer this half, but 36 seconds left to play. It's a 14-point lead for Harlingen South. Pistacache with the ball, trying to back down from the 3-point line. Gives it off. Pistacache jacks up a 3. It's short. Rebound controlled by Sharyland. They got 20 seconds left. Another 3-pointer. That one is good by Jerry Martinez.
And that Harlingen South crowd, they were letting him hear it because he had an air ball earlier, and that's a way to get the crowd to be quiet.
And I see there's another charge. Daniel Perales getting the charge.
There's Patrick De La Torre, right? That got that one. I don't know. You're right. And that's a huge momentum shift right there. You hit a big-time three, NBA distance, and then you get the offensive charge. Let's see if they can put something together here and go into the fourth quarter with just a single digit deficit right here for Sharyland. They're down by 11.
A hair under 9 seconds left to play. Sharyland pushing the ball. They know they got 5 seconds, and they're going to call a foul. I think that's going to put them on the line.
That's a ticky-tack foul with 5 seconds left. Probably about 45 feet from the basket. That's not something you want to do.
Andres Gantu for Sharyland will be at the line, shooting a 1-and-1. Now, how important is this first free throw, Eric?
This is big. If you can hit this, you're going to build so much momentum right here. And here's the thing, Kevin, that we noticed. All right, Preciado was out of the game for Harlingen South for about 3 minutes, and during that time, Sharyland had I believe it was a 7-2 run. His crowd's still giving it to him.
Andres Gantu, the first one bounces off back iron. Rebound controlled by Preciado. 2 seconds left to play. We see Harlingen South jack up a shot. It's going to not hit the rim, but at the end of 3, we're in the same place we were at the end of 2. Harlingen South leading by 11, 42-31. Big fourth quarter left to play, Eric. Does Sharyland have what it takes?
I think they do. I think what they need to do, though, is they need to buckle down on defense, continue pressuring the ball on those presses, because they see what happens is when they start pressuring them, Harlingen South has been making some mistakes. You're not going to be able to play with them, on that 3 ball, a 3 for 3, a 3 for 3. You've got to cause the turnovers, get the easy layups, and they've gotten a couple easy layups here and there. So Sharyland still has a chance. It's going to come down to the nitty-gritty right at the end.
So Harlingen South, this is where we see the conditioning really come into play. We saw them really pull away from Mac High last week in that fourth quarter. They're such a well-conditioned team.
They did. I think going into the fourth quarter, they were down by. Harlingen South was up by about 15. Mac High made a push. They got it all the way to about 11 or 10, just like this game. And then Harlingen South just lit them up in the fourth quarter and won by 23 points. So it's one of those things. They Brian Molina, he runs his players ragged sometimes, but it's for moments like this.
Harlingen South couldn't miss a shot in the first half. We saw them go completely cold in that third quarter.
Yeah, they I don't think they hit a 3 that entire third quarter. Sorry.
So it'll be Sharyland ball to start. They trail by 11, 42-31. 8 minutes left to go here in the Region 4 quarterfinals. Pistacache with the ball, looking to drive. He gets the double team, that ball taken away. And they're going to call that on Pistacache.
Man, Nick Garcia there. That was some good defense.
You called it, Eric. The Sharyland keeps going to that spin move whenever they get down. It was Nick Garcia, knew exactly what he was about to do, reached in there and picked his pocket.
Yeah, that's exactly what Brian Molina coaches. He always talks about that, especially on the presses on defense. What you want to do is you want to turn your player around and get the help defense to come and get the steal, and that's what they practice. He practices what he preaches, and they do that a lot.
Nick Garcia, not the guy you want at the line if you're Sharyland, because he does hit his free throws.
Yeah, an 88% free throw shooter this season, and he knocks him down, especially in the clutch.
First one good. First one of the 1-and-1 good by Garcia. That one good as well.
That's his 12th point.
Here comes the pressure from Harlingen South. Pistacache with the ball for the Rattlers. Driving with the head fake, looking for a man down low, number 11, Alex Garza. That ball just turned away. You see Pistacache go to the head fake a lot, but the Harlingen South team not really buying it.
Yeah, they don't. They're playing a very disciplined defense here. They're not leaving their feet, and they've been making him pay. He's got quite a few turnovers.
Nick Garcia with the ball, just blowing by the press. Not what you want to see if you're pressing and you're coach Rene Gonzalez. Harlingen South slowing it down a little bit. Montemayor looking into Gonzalez. Gives it off to Preciado. Puts it in, and that's what they were missing when they took him out for those 3 minutes at the end of the third quarter.
Yeah, he's that great give and go and that little spark of energy that he provides.
Again, the steal by number 1, Angel Gonzalez. Taking it up, Nick Garcia. And what a great finisher around the basket. We see Garcia hobbled a little bit. His ankle might have turned.
You don't want to see that.
Definitely the star player. Coach Molina wanting some time to talk about his injured player. There's a timeout on the floor anyways. But the great finish by Garcia.
Yeah, fantastic finish. And like we said earlier, Angel Gonzalez, number 1 from Harlingen South. He leads that team in steals. And another great steal right there. Great move up the court, and that's how you want to come into the fourth quarter. I think we talked about Harlingen South coming out a little bit cold in that third quarter, not really sticking with the run and gun that they like to do. This fourth quarter, they're all about quick shots, quick moves, and getting to the basket.
A 6-0 lead in the first 61 seconds here for Harlingen South. And we hope that Nick Garcia is okay. We'll see if I doubt we'll see him come in for the rest of the game unless it gets really, really dicey, especially here with the 17-point lead. But
cue the music. He's back out there, Kevin. I don't know if anything can stop that kid from playing right now. Even a 17-point lead, Coach Brian Molina will leave him in the game.
And he's going to play the press defense. The ankle seems to be fine. Might have just scared him more than anything. Sharyland looking to drive. That's stripped away. That was number 21 on the take, Jerry Martinez.
Preciado down there doing a little bit of trash talking like we talked about. That's his game. He likes to get in their heads.
The inbound from Sharyland goes to Martinez. Martinez over to Cantu. Cantu jacks up a 3-ball, and that is good. Kind of what Sharyland needed if they want to get going. They trail by 14 here as a ticky-tack foul by Andres Cantu, picking that up behind the half-court line. Harlingen South shooting a 1-and-1 now.
Yeah, you make a great 3-point shot like that from the Lone Star National Bank logo, and then you pick up a little silly foul like that. That's not what you want to be doing, especially when you're down by 14 points.
You know, the foul was picked up almost where the 3-point shot was made.
Exactly. I know Harlingen South is good, but they're not going to be making threes from all the way back there.
The 1-and-1 missed, knocked out of bounds by Preciado. Sharyland with the ball. It'll be Von Rosenberg to inbound. Gives it to Cantu. Cantu bringing the ball up. High pick and roll. Doesn't use the pick. Von Rosenberg with the ball. Fakes the 3. Shot by Garza. No good. Controlled by Preciado and Harlingen South. He looks it up. Fires it up to Gonzalez. Puts it up and in.
You know, we're seeing a lot of layups by Harlingen South this second half. First half, it was a lot of 3-pointers.
The 3-ball from Sharyland. Sharyland looking to just jack up threes at this point, it seems like, trying to get any kind of fight they can. They trail by 16, 6 minutes left to play.
Yeah, that was not a good shot there by number 20, Andres Cantu. I mean, he's a spot-up shooter. He's not a take-you-off the dribble shooter.
And it looks like Coach Molina is going to call a timeout. We've seen a 16-point lead. Now, Sharyland, they averaged in the 60s. They've only got 34 points tonight here through 3 quarters and 2 minutes of play.
Yeah, that's not a lot. You know, both teams average a lot of points. Sharyland, 62.3 points per game. Right now, they've only got 34. Harlingen South averages 63.9 points per game. So, you know, they're kind of on track. But Sharyland is really, you know, they've just been swarmed by this defense, and it is getting in their head.
You know, we look at Pistacache down there, a guy who's probably used to, you know, having his way with kids. He's such a talented player.
He really is.
Looks like he's getting a little frustrated down there. He's turned the ball over a couple times, thrown up some really bad shots. He's a guy that I think is going to get it going here with 6 minutes left to play, get Sharyland back into this game.
Yeah.
Preciado to inbound for the Hawks.
They're running a 3-1-1 is what it looks like. They got 3 people up in the front court, and they're face guarding.
Inbounded to Garcia. Garcia double teamed immediately, taking it down the right sideline. Passes it back to Preciado, dishes it back out to Gonzalez. Nick Garcia thinking about that shot way behind the NBA range. Gives it to Gonzalez, who fires that one up from way in the corner. Gets it to fall. The first 3-pointer, not what Sharyland wanted to see.
You know, the D-League team that plays here, the RGB Vipers, They are one of the most prolific shooting three-point teams in the D-League, and I wonder if this is rubbing off on any of these players here because they're all shooting from way behind the three-point line tonight.
Von Rosenberg misses the three, controlled by Sharyland. That's Perales with the ball. Slowing it down a little bit, looking to take someone off the dribble. Takes it right to the hole, just crosses over Jerry Martinez. Wide open lane, lays it in for the layup. A 21-point lead here in the fourth quarter, 5:11 left to play. You know, for an offensive team, you hear the Harlingen South crowd yelling defenses. That's number 20, Andres Cantu, taking it to the hoop. The 20-point lead isn't enough. They want to see some defense.
They do.
Nick Garcia with a great fake to get his man up in the air. Dishes to Montemayor. Hits the front of the rim.
They're not going to slow down, too, either, Kevin. They got that 19-point lead right now. They look to shoot, and they look to score fast.
That's Cantu with the ball. Misses. Preciado controls it, kind of loses it. And I believe the ball is going to stay with Harlingen South. A little out of control there. But that's what's going to happen. That's that kind of give and take when you play that fast-paced offense.
4.5 minutes left, 19-point deficit. You really got to start playing some pressure basketball up your Sharyland.
A lot of defense by Von Rosenberg there on Perales. The shot no good. Sharyland jacks up a three-pointer, and you got to wonder if maybe the three-point line, the two different three-point lines, are messing with the heads of some of these players because we see a lot of them standing behind the NBA three when there's no need to.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing too. I haven't seen anyone take a normal high school basketball three-pointer and actually make it here tonight. They've all been behind that NBA three-point line, and I think it may be something that's getting in their head.
You know, you see that line as a shooter, you kind of always have that peripheral vision. Preciado taking that one off the block, up and off the glass. That was pretty. 21-point lead here for Harlingen South. But, you know, as a shooter, you kind of keep that peripheral vision down below you to see the line. And, you know, you're not really thinking in the heat of the moment, oh, this is the red line, I'm looking for the white line.
Right.
They just see a line and try to get behind it.
Especially in high school, you don't ever see two three-point lines, and this is something that they're not used to. You know, in college, sometimes you'll see it if they play like in an NBA type arena, but you don't see that in high school often. I mean, rarely you see that, and I think that may be something that's getting in their head.
57-36, 3:56 left to play here in the fourth quarter. It's been all Harlingen South in kind of a replay of that Mac High game we saw last Tuesday.
Yeah, we're seeing that exact same thing. Harlingen South pushed early at the beginning. They were up by a lot of points. Sharyland makes the comeback slowly but surely, gets into this game. Almost cut it to 10 points at one point, and then Harlingen South just picked it back up.
I don't think we've seen Sharyland within double digits.
Single digits.
Within single digits, since maybe the second quarter, early on in the first quarter.
Yeah, I think.
We're seeing some other players come in. That's number 24, Eduardo Garcia, turning the ball over for Sharyland.
Man, it looks like Rene Gonzalez, head coach of Sharyland, is just kind of cleared out the bench right now. He's got looks like he's got his second, third string out there.
You know, he's got a couple of juniors on the roster looking to get them some third-round playoff experience, especially against a very good Harlingen South team that's got a lot of starters still in there.
Yeah, they've got all their starters still in there, which is interesting when you've got Sharyland, who, like I said, has pretty much just cleared their bench right now.
Eduardo Garcia with the foul. That's the ninth team foul. They're still one away from the double bonus. That'll be Daniel Perales shooting the 1-and-1. Oh, excuse me, that is the 10th foul. They're now on the double bonus. We'll see 2 shots from now on for the next 3.5.
And both coaches, you like to see this. They're both standing at half court talking to each other.
First shot from Perales is good.
You got to wonder. Rene Gonzalez, head coach of Sharyland, is talking to Brian Molina, head coach of Harlingen South, saying, all right, coach, pull out the starters. Come on. We got 3.5 left. It's 22 points.
23 now after Perales hits that shot, 59-36. Sharyland with the ball looking to make something happen. They had it within 11 at the end of 3. As we see, I believe that's number 13, Carlos Perez with the ball. Again, the coast to coast by Harlingen South, and that's what they do. Starters or no starters, 20-point lead, 3 minutes left to go. Their foot does not come off the gas.
Yeah. Let's see if he's gonna take any of his players. No, he's not. He's keeping the pressure.
Some good hustle there by Alex Garza. You know, as a coach, that's what you like to see. You know your team's down by 25, and you still got guys diving on the ground for the ball.
Yeah. You keep your head up. Sharyland had a great season this year.
Nick Garcia blowing by 2 defenders, dishes it out to Preciado, way behind the three-point line. Couple of jab steps. Going to cross it over, bring it back. He's guarded by Eduardo Garcia. But Garcia just giving him that left hand. He'll dish it off, though. Montemayor over to Garcia. It's Nick Garcia for Harlingen South. Let's see if he's putting Dalton Curtis on skates. He blows right by him, dishes to the hole, finds Preciado. Up and in. That could have been a goaltending, it looked like, but the ball falls in anyways.
Yeah, definitely. I think Preciado wanted to dunk that, to tell you the truth. We saw him with a nice alley-oop last week against Mac High. That was beautiful.
Eddie Garza with the ball, and I think here come the subs for Coach Brian Molina.
Yeah, he's clearing out his bench now.
And they're going to call a foul. That's a 1-and-1. That'll be 13. Carlos Perez going to the line for Sharyland.
And with 2 minutes left, Brian Molina is asking for, I think he's asking for his starters to come out. Let's see. Yeah, it's still 1-and-1. And this crowd is, this Harlingen South crowd is, giving them a standing ovation. I know you can't see the crowd right now, but they are giving their team what they deserve. They have played a fantastic game here tonight.
Now, you'd have to assume that the starters are done for the rest of the night. Minute 59 left to play, a 27-point lead. It's Carlos Perez at the line for Sharyland. First one goes in. I saw some of the players for Harlingen South running back on offense already, not realizing that there's a second shot. Perez, that ball rattles out of there. Rebound controlled by Diego Andrade. So a bunch of new faces for us. That's Chester Gutierrez with the ball. He's getting swarmed, and they're going to call a foul.
Yeah, minute 47 left, 26 points. That's not a foul that I think is necessary right now.
Yeah, especially with both teams in the bonus. You got Harlingen South in the double bonus. You got a minute 47 left to play. You hope that they kind of just play a clean game.
Yeah. I got to hand it to both teams, though, and both cities. Ton of fans came out here tonight. We saw the pretty much the entire middle section of State Farm Arena was packed on both sides by fans from both cities, especially Harlingen South for making the trek all the way over here. This is their third game in a row in the Upper Valley. They had Mac High last Tuesday. They had Edinburgh Vela at Vela on Friday, and then this game here tonight. They're moving this way, and they're probably going to win this game. So their next game will be at UT Pan American Fieldhouse. So that'll be 4 games in a row coming to this side of the valley.
Number 24, Eduardo Garcia with the rebound and the putback for Sharyland. 64-39, minute and a half left to play. We talked about Sharyland getting some good experience. Harlingen South getting some good experience here now. Getting to play in State Farm Arena, getting to play in front of a lot of the fans, the big crowds.
Yeah, for a lot of these players, this may be the biggest crowd they ever get to play in front of in their entire life. So it's good, and I'm glad that the city of Hidalgo was able to do this. I'm glad State Farm Arena was able to provide an atmosphere like this for both teams because, both these teams just deserve, especially being here from the Valley locally, we love them, and we're really happy to see something like this.
Again, with all the backups in, the game's starting to get a little sloppier. As we see a behind-the-back pass from number 13, Carlos Perez.
I don't think he knows that pass yet.
The 3 ball, no good. And what you like to see is you look at the Harlingen South sideline as a foul's called. The starters are getting up there, and they're cheering for these backups.
Yeah, they like to see that. They like to see when a backup player comes in and hits a long-distance 3 just like them. It gets them just as fired up.
Number 22, Austin Burns at the line. First shot, no good. 64-39.
45 seconds left, Kevin.
25-point lead here for Harlingen South. The second shot rattles out as well. Rebound controlled by Sharyland, and again, you see the full court pressure even with 30 seconds left to play.
That's an offensive charge as well. He's pushing off, number
24.
Yeah, Eduardo Garcia.
They don't shoot the free throws for the offensive ones, but it does count as a team foul.
You saw Nick Garcia from Harlingen South jumping up and down over there on the sideline. Coach Molina told him, sit down. We don't want your ankle getting any more hurt.
Ball poked away there by Sharyland. Under 30 seconds left to play. 3-point ball by number 12, Eddie Garza, miscontrolled by Harlingen South. Garza playing some tough defense, some hustle, getting back. That would be the foul on Diego Andrade. Yeah. But again, we saw him kind of look down at that line. Again, he was looking at the NBA three-point line, saw that there was a line in front of him, stepped behind it, and kind of shot it.
Yeah.
I think the two lines tonight definitely played a factor in some of these guys' three-point.
It'll be interesting to see when Harlingen South goes to the Pan American Fieldhouse, where that three-point line in college is a little bit closer. See if that has anything to do, and if that plays into their head a little bit. Especially in this second half, because I think we only saw them hit 1-3 in the third quarter, and that was pretty much it late in the third quarter. And they're a team that can hit the three very prolifically.
11 seconds left to go. As they're going to let the buzzer sound, 64-41 will be the final here tonight. We're going to go ahead and take a timeout. We'll be back with a post-game wrap-up show, but this one in the books, Harlingen South, 64-41. We'll be back right after this.
The sun shines bright as it moves across my face. I feel the light and everything is in its place. I woke up feeling great. Today was made for me, and life is good the way it should, the way it was meant to be.
So then after this is the
and it's a beautiful day.
Welcome back to the post-game wrap-up here on 956 Sports. Kevin Sanchez alongside Eric Fanich. And the cameras are off here, but still a lot to talk about in this game. A 64-41 win for Harlingen South. I'd like to take a second real quick before we talk about the game and acknowledge just the sportsmanship that's going on at the set center court right now. You got both Harlingen South and Sharyland, circling up right now. Just a great show of sportsmanship there at, mid-court.
Yeah, especially after last week we saw, the tension between Harlingen South and the tension between Mac High. But this is really a beautiful thing to look at.
A great game tonight. It was very close in the first half. We saw Harlingen South going with an 11-point lead. After three quarters, it was still only 11-point lead. Harlingen South coming out kind of cold in that third quarter. We saw them do that in the Mac High game, but then really lit it up in that fourth quarter.
Yeah, that's what they like to do. Coach Molina keeps shooting the ball, and in that third quarter, I don't know if that's their Achilles heel, but they're advancing to the next round, and I think if he wants any chance at beating one of these San Antonio teams that they'll most likely be playing, they've got to get that third quarter kind of squared away. They've got to be able to come out and continue to light up the scoreboard just as easily as they do in the first and second and fourth quarters.
a very emotional game for Sharyland as their season comes to an end. They're a very senior strong team, but they do have some great juniors. They got De La Torre, who's a junior, a very, very big guy down low. Pistacache, who's a junior, he'll be coming back next year.
Yeah,
Andres Cantu, who is another starter. They got 3 starters coming back next year.
Yeah, they've got nothing to hang their heads on. They had a fantastic season. They beat a fantastic Mickey Rowe team who was ranked 9th in the state. They had a great upset win there, but looks like the glass slipper, as Doug Johnson likes to say, no longer fits.
Harlingen South, you saw some really good things from them tonight. What are you excited about watching them do it in the next round?
You know what I'm excited about seeing them? I love the way that tonight they kept their composure. I think what we saw last week against Mac High, they were doing a lot of inexperienced things that an experienced team like them probably doesn't do very often. A lot of silly turnovers, leaving their feet, throwing the ball across half court, things that Coach Molina practices and does not like seeing happen. And tonight, their turnover ratio was down. They played a really, really good game, especially when the pressure came up from Sharyland. Not very many turnovers. You just want to see them make a little bit more threes.
That Harlingen South team likes to run the ball a lot, and boy, did they dabba do that tonight.
Yeah, they really did. But I think this is what all those extra miles and all those gashers that they had to do in the off season and all the line drills that Coach Molina makes them run. This is what this all comes down to, is being able to run and gun like this in the fourth quarter.
So the final score, 64-41, as the Sharyland Rattler season comes to an end.